What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Average. We are back here with another video. This is the real video this time. The amount of times I have to test this video out so many times because the audio and because like a different picture quality was ridiculous. So hopefully you know it's a little bit different. Hope you notice a difference, just a little bit. So it doesn't need to be that great, just a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Look at my face. Hope you're looking at it. Hopefully the quality is a little bit better and the microphone. I couldn't do anything really with the microphone. So I'm just trying different positions and filters. You don't really care about that. You just want to know average, what's in the background, what are we watching today? And the one thing we're watching today is interesting facts. You are too lazy to Google. I know you're lazy because I'm lazy. Phone in hand, you wonder something, and instead of looking it up on Google, you're like, forget about it. TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, who knows what else you do? All right, YouTube, but it's fine because it's people like him who provide information for all those lazy people who are too lazy to even search it up. But yeah, you're probably getting 2 videos today. You still get the horror video in the back later on today. I might have to move it back a little bit, maybe like an hour, because I'm moving this one in here. You know what I'm saying? Every Monday, type of like this video like this every Monday, just to hype, just to make us feel better. You know what I'm saying? Because everyone's Monday sucks. Unless you have it off. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I'm just rambling at this point. Let's get into this video. The original video will be in the description below, like always.
That is packed full of information you may have never thought to ask. But that doesn't mean we always have the time or energy to go out and find it. Lucky for you, I've compiled a list of some interesting facts you're just too lazy to Google. Why do we look better in the mirror? The real reason why we tend to shy away from our appearance in photographs is a little more complex than just a bad hair day. Our mirror image is essentially a flipped version of our true selves, which means we're far more used to seeing someone who doesn't really exist. When we anticipate seeing this mirror image in a photograph, we set ourselves up for instant disappointment.
Yes, I hate taking pictures because of that one reason. All right. I don't look how I thought I would look because of the mirror, you know what I'm saying?
Whereas friends and family will often see nothing wrong with what we consider a bad photo, because that's the version of us they always see. If that wasn't trippy enough, differing photographic focal lengths can also alter someone's face shape entirely. So can we ever truly know what we look like? Why do we hate the sound of our voice on camera? I hate to break it to you, but the jarring recordings you hear of yourself in videos are far more accurate than the speaking voice you're so used to.
That's what I was doing. Right now, actually, on this microphone, it's kind of crazy. I just wanted my voice to sound a little clearer. That was it. It sounded a little clearer. Now I know that when I'm talking to people, it's gonna be muffled. I'm just like, so maybe hopefully doing this, I can like project my voice better. I'm not really good at that, so hopefully this would allow me to get good at it.
The reason we're so shocked when listening to ourselves back is because, while others only hear the sound waves conducted by air, the voice you know is a combination of external sound alongside the internal acoustics of our bones. Your voice reverberating around your skull produces rich, low-frequency pitches which don't exist externally, meaning our voices are generally higher than we'd like to think.
No, in my head, my voice sounds a lot lighter than on the recording. It sounds a lot like low pitch. I'm just like, I like to have a higher quality voice. My voice in my head makes me seem like I'm having a higher quality voice. But nope, too low.
Why don't our eyes get cold? It might not have crossed your mind, but unlike other bodily extremities, our eyeballs aren't able to determine coldness or heat, which is down to a lack of temperature receptor cells. In fact, the largest part of the human eye is nestled comfortably inside the skull, where they're constantly pumped with a strong supply of warm blood. As long as they're inside a functioning body with additional bone, tissue, and fat to keep them warm, it's virtually impossible for your eyeballs to freeze at sub-zero temperatures. Why does freshly cut grass smell so good? To put it plainly, that delightful scent wafting through the summer breeze is actually just the grass screaming in agony.
It do be smelling good though, you know what I'm saying? Hey, some pain is pleasure.
When grass is cut, a greater number of organic compounds known as green leaf volatiles are released to aid the plant in closing the wounds when producing new cells. This combination of 8 oxygenated hydrocarbons along with alcohols and aldehydes, which make up the GLVs, also happen to be pleasing to the nose. So next time you stop to take a long sniff, just remember, it's the sweet smell of trauma. Why does the sun make our skin darker, but hair lighter? After a day in the sun, your skin will probably be browner, or redder if you forgot the sunblock, but your hair will probably turn a shade lighter, and this is all down to the power of sun damage. In both cases, sunlight breaks down melanin, the pigment responsible for the color of hair and skin, but with one key difference.
Okay, I don't think I have the capabilities of getting that dark, like a shade darker every day. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I'm in the sun a lot, and constantly, like you will see a difference. Like when you like raise up like a certain amount, you'll see like it's like lighter or something in like a certain situation, but it's never noticeable. You know, so I don't really have to worry about it.
When sun bleaches and destroys melanin in your hair, it becomes lighter, and since hair isn't a living thing, it'll stay that way until new follicles grow in. On the other hand, skin is equipped to respond to this damage by producing more melanocyte cells which protect us from harmful UV radiation, darkening our skin.
Always this.
Why is snow so quiet? As it turns out, there's a scientific reason why snowy landscapes are associated with peace and quiet. As fluffy snow accumulates on the ground, it acts like a sound absorber.
Hey, snow.
Because it's essentially a porous material
I'd rather never see it again.
like foam, and as snow doesn't hit the ground with nearly as much force as water, even the heaviest snowstorm can seem relatively silent. Snow also stacks up with a lot of air between flakes, which means sound waves have less surface area to bounce off than raindrops, for example, making most sounds seem muffled. Why can't robots press the "I am not a robot" box? With modern developments
I wanted this. I'm not a robot. I'm like, why? Why can't you press that?
in AI, it's hard to believe that a robot couldn't just declare itself as a human online. Fortunately though, the Antibot CAPTCHA system has been specially programmed by Google to record a multitude of human actions like the number of accidental key presses, mouse clicks, taps, and scrolls made on the page. Similarly, while an AI bot would probably move quickly in a straight line to the box, human reaction tends to be delayed and imprecise. Experts say it's almost impossible for a bot to replicate a human, but if you practice hard enough, you can probably trip the CAPTCHA into thinking you're a robot. Why do birds fly in a V formation? What seems like a common practice for migrating long-winged birds like geese has actually baffled scientists for years until very recently. In 2014, a study focusing on ibises unraveled the mystery by determining that it's a handy energy-saving technique similar to how squadrons of planes can save fuel in a V formation. Each bird is perfectly positioned to time their wing beats to the bird in front so that they catch the uplifting currents ahead, which gives every member of the flock a little break in rotation. The leading member directs the flock while also providing swirls of air to those behind, and this ingenious chain of piggybacking can even use 20 to 30% less energy. Why do blood tests use your ring finger? Routine blood tests aren't always pleasant, but it seems they could be worse if nurses didn't always choose the ring finger. Firstly, your thumbs and pinky fingers contain tendons which communicate with the entire hand and wrist, so getting an infection here could spread to the entire arm. Of the remaining fingers, your ring finger is used the least, meaning that the skin is more delicate and easier to puncture with less pain, and the wound will also heal much faster. Why does time pass faster as you get older? If you feel like the years are getting shorter with age, it might not be all in your head.
It feels like that. Like the last 2 years, like this year and last year went by so fast. Like it was ridiculous. I was like, man, it's already like September?
Using simple philosophy, designer Maximilian Kiner has created a graph which demonstrates how the longer you live, the relative significance of each year of your life decreases. For instance, a 2-year-old will experience a full half of their young life in a single year, while for an average 30-year-old, each year is just 3.33% of their life, and in your 60s this could drop to just 1.67%. It all comes down to a loss of novelty. While children are constantly taking on new information, we settle into day-to-day life as adults and things become routine. Why is shampoo
that's interesting, you know what I'm saying? So like the more you do something in routine, the more you don't notice it. You know what I'm saying? So for instance, I'm me doing this. If I do this, like say for like another, hopefully I'll be doing this for like another 5 months in advance now. You know what I'm saying? It's like it'll become routine where it will seem like me doing this is a lot quicker than what it actually is. That's interesting. That's interesting. Huh. I think that actually correlates to when you're driving sometimes, and you know how you just like zone out, and the next thing you know you're like halfway to where you are. I think that's also like what it's talking about. It's like a routine. So it's like, why even process what you're doing when you can just have it, when you already have it on like macro? Hmm.
Foam always white. With hundreds of types of shampoo on supermarket shelves, it might seem strange that the lather is always white. But it comes down to simple science. Firstly, the dyes used in shampoo are already highly diluted and only become more so as they're mixed with air and water molecules to create bubbles, like a red balloon being inflated until its color fades. It also has to do with the scattering of light, as light rays striking the tiny bubbles get redirected in various directions due to vast irregularities in the foam's molecular makeup. These countless light scattering surfaces make it almost impossible for the human eye to detect any remaining colors. What causes motion sickness? Motion sickness is a frustratingly common ailment, and the nauseating sensation you feel is just a result of mixed signals being sent to your brain, which causes confusion. Your inner ear has a big role to play. Two sacs located in the semicircular canals called the saccule and the utricle contain fluid which
Out of science.
tells the brain about any imbalances, which is how we know when we're stood up or lying down. On a boat, for example, your inner ear can sense the rocking of the waves even though your eyes might not be able to see it, causing your brain to try and make these two conflicting feelings agree, which makes us feel queasy. What causes brain freeze? Brain freeze can put a real downer on cold treats like ice cream, and these short-term
Y'all like ice cream? I don't like ice cream that much. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not one of my fortes. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't mind it. If I do get some ice cream, I probably get like usually when I get ice cream, a small is too much. I just want like maybe like 3 or 4 spoons, spoon, spoon, spoonfuls. There you go, spoonful. I just want like maybe 2, 3, or 4 of those, and I'd be set for like at least a couple months.
headaches occur when something extremely cold touches the upper palate or roof of the mouth while rapidly consuming icy food and drink. This kind of stimulus causes vasoconstriction, or narrowing of the blood vessels, and resulting nerve pain, which is generally alleviated by rewarming the upper palate to widen the blood vessels through vasodilation. Quick fixes like drinking warm water or pressing your tongue to the roof of your mouth can get the blood flowing again and stop the brain freeze. What is the pink part of our eye? Almost every part of the human body has its own function, but that might not be so true when it comes to the small pink corner of your inner eye. The scientific name for this fleshy substance is carbuncle, and the truth is it's actually pretty useless. The creepy thing is that the carbuncle is basically the evolutionary remnant of a third eyelid which reptiles, fish, amphibians, and birds still possess to cover their eyes in a thin film and keep out harmful bacteria. Humans unfortunately no longer require a horizontal eyelid, so we're left with a small portion which no longer functions. Who knows, it might eventually disappear altogether. How can you emergency call without signal? If you find yourself in a survival situation and in need of rescuing or medical attention, you'll need to make an emergency call. But being out of service isn't always what it seems. In these situations, a no network available message only refers to your own specific carrier network, and your mobile phone is actually equipped to piggyback on any other network in range.
Oh.
This life-saving feature has been a staple since the global system for mobile.
Wow, that's dope. So I wonder if there ever be like a company that actually like has like two different types of services. You know what I'm saying? Like I think what was it? What was it? T-Mobile has what? T-Mobile have AT&T? Oh, I really don't know. I really don't know. You know what I'm saying? But it's like different like I wonder if there ever be like a lot of more cell towers that has different frequencies that like one like carrier can like use like 3 different frequencies, so it just extends the ranges. Like, oh, this type is down, here's a backup. You know what I'm saying? It's like a backup service. Hmm. Probably not.
communications was established in the
Be
early
interested though.
1990s, and only when there is no coverage for any network in the area will you be truly stuck. Why do we get goosebumps? Goosebumps are one of our body's many involuntary reactions, but there are actually a few explanations for the strange phenomenon. Tiny elevations are caused when miniature muscles contract and create shallow depressions and surrounding protrusions on our skin, causing our hairs to stand on end. This is inherited from our animal ancestors whose thicker hair would create a fluffy layer of warmth and insulation in the cold. Since we now have less body hair, we're left with visible pimples which make us look like human-sized poultry. Goosebumps can also occur in times of stress or heightened emotion due to a sudden rush of adrenaline, much like how a cat's hair stands up when thrown.
These days, there is a lot to balance,
Interesting.
but Grammarly ensures you communicate at your best.
Less hair on the body. I don't have that.
Why do we only see one side of the moon? Believe it or not, no matter how often you gaze up at the moon, you'll have only ever seen one side. This is because the moon rotates around the Earth at the exact same speed as it rotates around its own axis, which takes about 27 days, meaning that the same side is always facing us. If the moon didn't spin at all, then it would alternatively show its near and far sides during orbit. What is known as synchronous rotation or tidal locking prevents us from seeing the other hemispheres, and it's been this way for an estimated 4 billion years now. As the Earth's gravity gradually tugged at the moon, it deformed its shape slightly to face us and slowed its rotation, becoming tidally locked. Where does airplane waste go? Most people know by now that airplanes don't just drop human excrement out of the sky at high altitudes, but the truth is far less exciting. In the 1980s, airplane toilets
Just like a little. It's probably just like a waste tank, right?
relied on the same blue deodorizing liquid as porta potties, known as Anatech, to push waste from the bowl into the onboard storage tanks. But this had some drawbacks. Besides the increased fuel consumption involved in carrying the fluid, the systems were prone to leaking waste, which would freeze into blue ice, capable of plummeting through the air and causing some serious damage. Nowadays, aircrafts use a safer Kepner system involving a powerful vacuum which sucks everything down within seconds. Tanks holding up to 20 gallons of waste are then safely pumped out after landing, so no need to duck for cover.
Oh my gosh. I did fly a plane for the first time this year, like in September, I think it was. Was it September? Oh, it was August. Oh, and it's crazy. Like I never knew like how vivid my eyesight was until I was like flying over clouds and the sun was hitting the clouds. It looked like crazy. Oh, that was some high def footage right there.
Why do soda bottles have bumps? The distinctly bumpy design of most popular soda bottles is probably not something you ever thought to question, but there's a legit reason why they aren't just flat-bottomed like water bottles. The standard 5-pointed bottom is not just a way to make them seem fancier, but a matter of stability. Soft drinks like Coke and Sprite are served chilled, so the plastic bottle needs to withstand the change in volume that happens when the liquid increases in temperature without toppling over. Soda is also aerated, and a flat bottom would bulge when the bottles are pressurized to fill the gas as the drinks are carbonated, so the 5 feet are far more robust. Which of these interesting facts amazed you the most?
Honestly, it was a lot of things in there that I didn't really like bother to think about. You know what I'm saying? Like the bottom of a soda, the bottom of a soda. Oh my god, bottom of a pop can. Never thought about that. Why you got that pink thing in your eyelid? Never thought about that either. It's kind of it's cool to know about though. You know what I'm saying? It was interesting. I will do more of these videos probably like every Monday. You know what I'm saying? Do like a little thing. You know what I'm saying? But until then, I'll catch you on the good side. Later. Oh, didn't end it. Ooh.